Harihi, Harihi, Harihi. Switch on the fan. We will put on the other one. Now we continue our discussion on the Sapta Bhumika. As Namrata ji said, many people have found the Sapta Bhumika meaning very interesting and enlightening. I am also happy about it. The word Sapta means seven. Bhumika means a kind of a level or a plane. Everybody thinks that the world our senses are revealing, they alone, the world the senses are revealing, that alone is and nothing else. But what I have to tell you is something entirely different. A human personality, our body and senses are placed right in between. In between means two factors. One is the external hemisphere, another is the internal hemisphere. Within the body is the mind, which is placed betwixt the two, between the two. So using the senses, the mind is perceiving the external universe, the external plurality, endlessness. It can also perceive, without the senses, the other side of the whole existence. To begin with, we think that there is an external and there is opposite to it, like a mirror reflection, the internal. But it is not so. Because the senses are inert, I-N-E-R-T. They are insentient. The senses are animated and activated, employed by the mind. The senses can do nothing more than sending electrical pulses to the brain, even like an artificial organ. So what can the senses do? So it is the mind that perceives using the senses, and the senses are evolved, shaped by the mind itself in the mother's womb, by consciousness. So whatever the external is, it is again a perception of the mind. Now leave the senses, the mind can take up the internal perception. When it does so, you will find that the real existence is there. Actually, there are no two. External is only an idea, a notion. Internal is another idea, a notion, one opposed to the other. Both ideas spring from the same mind. So mind is the source of both. So mind is the source of the external and internal. Why I said this? When you enter into the body, inside the body, and you start exploring what all dimensions are there, how pervasive it is, you will find the external is nothing. The Sapta Bhumika is actually explaining to you the seven planes, the seven steps, so to say, to reach wherever you want. They are considered to be seven lokas above and seven lokas below. Actually, there are no such worlds at all. They are only bhumikas, different planes of our experience. Our mind functions differently in all the seven planes. Let us see how it works. So this Sapta Bhumika is something very enlightening, and it gives you a lot of empowerment, enrichment, elevation, expansion, and whatnot. I spoke to you about two Bhumikas. The first is called Shubhecha, and the second is called Vicharana. Shubha Icha. It is one where one desires something auspicious in my life I want. I am not interested in the external things as such. They are only media for me to experience and have anything good or bad. The real experience is provided by the mind. So in the mental plane, I want to be having something good, noble, and benevolent. So that desire to have something auspicious is called Shubhecha. Shubham Ichchati. Sthidakim mudha evasmi prekshyeham shastra sajjanaihi vairagyapurvam ichchedi shubhechyet budhaihi. Knowledgeable people say that it is not enough if I spend my life in this manner. Mere academic education will not be sufficient for me. I want to know something about myself, about my mind, about my intelligence, about the potentials they have, the possibilities they have, so that I can explore into them. The vision of the senses is only outward. They cannot penetrate inside. Only the gross it can see. The subtle senses cannot see. So what about the subtle hemisphere, the inner one? What shall I do? In other words, apart from mere morality and ethics, there is a desire in the man who is in the first Bhumika to know what is real, what is great, what is good, and what is the ideal for me. This is something very important. And in that, vairagya purvam ichchedi, there is also a measure of dispassion in the mind. Not that whatever we see engulfs us, devours us. I am prepared to sit, think, and then evaluate matters. So the thought process starts, the intellection starts, the tattva vichara starts. Then the second bhumika is shastra sajjana samparka vairagyabhyasa purvagam sadachara pravritriya prochyadesa vicharana. It is not an occasional thought, a piecemeal reflection. It has become something very essential, deep, and wholesome with me. So I cannot leave it. I want to spend more time. And what can I do? It is not an external activity or an external expression. It has something to do with my mind and intelligence. So I will deeply start reflecting over the whole process. And for my reflection, I will take the help of the Shastras and also the wise and knowledgeable people. Together with that, I will also reinforce my vairagya, dispassion towards the world. Sadachara pravritiriya. A man who has entered into the second bhumika, about him you can say, he is on the righteous path. He will not deflect from it. He will not jump into nonsense. He will not permit himself to do wrong things, harmful things, derogatory things, blameworthy matters. No, no, no. You can say he is a good and a noble man, wanting to become great, great, and greater. And all his actions will be sadachara. He will not have to be told. He will not speak unkindly. He will not become cruel. He will not become intolerant. He will not become jealous. So when you reach that second bhumika, thoughtfulness becomes very strong. It becomes constant in you. Instead of doing something and reflecting upon it, you will start reflecting upon and then do it. I always tell boys and girls, do not try to simply copy what others do. Instead, you think, what they do, is it right? Is there anything still better? Try to do something that others can copy from you. Don't copy others. Put it to an examination. So this kind of a thought process you should start introducing in your children right from the age of 5 or 6. Ask them to think and then do. Think and then do. not do and think. Think and do. Think and do. These are days where admissions for MBA, etc., very serious tests are done, very significant tests. There are some crash questions asked. That is to test the brain, the type of brain the children, the students have seeking admission. So they will be asked some very, very special questions, strange questions. They would not have expected. They want to know how the children respond to it. So that is trained. So there is a training for that also. Any question, any proposition that is offered, we should not feel stunned about it. So the brain should be trained to respond to such questions also. And there are ways and means. Now here also, you should tell the children, think and then do, not do and think. Thinking should precede our action. Every time when you propose to do something, think whether it is good, whether it will harm anybody, whether it will elevate me. In that manner, a thought process should be there. Now, after vicharana, we go to the third one. Vicharana shubhechabhyam indriyartheshvasaktada yatrasa tanuda bhavat prohyade tanumanasa. This is a very interesting proposition. Vicharana shubhechabhyam. By the pursuit, practice, by adherence to Shubhecha and Vicharana, the first two bhumikas, when indriyartheshu asaktata, the type of delusional clinging that you have towards the perishable objects of the world, that undergoes a radical change. It starts becoming weak. When a desire becomes weak, greed becomes weak, cruelty becomes weak, what does it mean? It is on the way for extinction. It is not healthy, it is not strong. So that tanuda bhava, becoming weak, becoming emaciated, thinner and thinner and thinner, that is called prochyade tanumanasa, the third one. Now, practicing the three, Bhumika Trudayabhyasat Chitterthe Viratervashad Satyatmanisthidishuddhe Sattva Patirudahrita. Are you with me? The three bhumikas together will have to be practiced. When you start pursuing them, you are living in them. You are inhering in them. So you are already a Shubhechu, you are already a Vicharavan, and your passion for the world, delusional clinging to the world, has undergone a radical change, so much so it has become weak. The mind is prepared to think about something greater, nobler, and everlasting. I am not satisfied to live the life of an animal. I want to live the life of a human. Mind and intelligence should have the precedence over anything else. I must be thoughtful. I must be evaluative. I should be given to examination. What is the food for the mind? Good and noble thoughts and emotions. What is the food for the intelligence? Intellection. Vichara, introspection. That is the food for intelligence. It is always yearning for knowledge. Knowledge will follow only enquiry, only evaluation, examination, etc. So, by practicing the three bhumikas, chitte, arthe, virater, vashade, when the greed and the interest, that blind interest, uncontrollable interest in enjoying the objects of the world, as an animal, as a bird, as a reptile, as an elephant, that kind of a life undergoes a check and a balance. You start feeling, what I want is joy. And no object will be able to give me joy. No object enters my mind. They always remain outside. Our mind fosters a sense of identity. I have got what I wanted. It is that feeling, I have got what I wanted, that gives you joy. So the joy is an emotion. It's always belonging to the mind. It is produced also by the mind. Produced by the mind. So for the sake of joy, it is ridiculous to think of an object and trying to acquire it. You may require a cot for lying comfortably during night so that you don't have to get up every time from the floor. That is okay. But don't think that cot will give you joy. It is a facility. It's a convenience. That's all. Joy is something entirely different. Contentment. Anybody who delights over a cot, what do you call him? Suppose you have a good shirt. Can you be delighting over it? Joy is something much more refined, much nobler, much deeper and loftier. So that joy belongs to the mind. Therefore, for the sake of joy, I will not resort to the objects of the world. So that uncontrollable delusional clinging, the greed and possessiveness, these start vanishing from the mind. Viratehe vashat, because of dispassion, chitte, shuddhe sati. The mind becomes pure. There is something called purity of the mind. Purity becomes a quality of the mind. Any desire makes the mind impure. Greed makes it all the more so. Any possessiveness contaminates the mind. There is no doubt about it. So for the mind to become pure, what is it? It is not like removing the dirt using soap from your body. The mind has to become less and less desireful, more and more desire-free. That is the purity of the mind. Satyatmani sthidihi shuddhe satvapatti rudakrida. Satyatmani sthidihi. Suppose you don't have a fascination and a greed for the objects of the world. Are you following me, marking me? See, when you don't have a clinging to the objects of the world, you understand that the objects will not be able to give you joy. Joy is produced, delivered and bestowed upon by the mind. When this basic discrimination arises, what happens? You tell me. The mind does not dwell upon the objects. Its dwelling becomes something different. If objects are not the ones on which the mind dwells, tell me, what is the alternate to objects? I want an answer from you. What is the alternate to the objects? The alternate can only be the subject. And where is the subject? Inside the body. So far now, you are dwelling upon the objects outside, including the body. Now you understand the futility of the whole process. Then the alternate will be, the mind will turn inside and start dwelling upon the subject. That's Satyatmani. What is the ultimate subject? The very I. You refer to something as I. Nobody is in doubt about it. Everybody knows I am. If you call somebody by the name, he will say, here am I. Where is that I-ness? Where is that amness? It is certainly not outside, it is not the body also. But something inside is there. That I is changeless. It does not change at all throughout our lifetime. We teach the young children to say I, and we also tell them you. We also tell them he, she, it and they. The entire interaction in our life is a triangle. I, you and the others. That I never changes. It has never changed. So if the interest in the objects dwindles and it becomes almost extinct, what will be the counter interest that you can have? It can only be in the subject within the body. So he says, Satyatmani sthidihi. When you are able to abide and inhere inside the body, in the way of the lasting self indicated by the term I, Satya Atmani Sthitihi. In the self, which is the true, the supreme truth, that Sattva Prapti is called the next Bhumika. Sattvapati. See, you have found something different from the objects of the world, different from your body, different from the mere mind, mere intelligence. That is the I. So far you were saying I. You never thought about it. What is the definition of the self? Self is that denoted by the pratyaya I. Aham pratyaya gocharaha, we say in Sanskrit. That which is denoted by the pratyaya, the idea I, that is the self. So you start understanding that the body is inert, it is animated and activated by an inner spiritual presence. Mind is its expression, intelligence is its expression, ego is its expression. That moola substance, that source substance is there. Now I am able to have a peep of it, an understanding of it. I can close my eyes. I can close my eyes. I can say goodbye to my thoughts. And I can get into the thinker, the thinking substance, and abide there. I understand that there is a source for thought, a source for thinking, source for the thinker. I am able to understand. And I am able to abide in it. Just like with the eyes, we will look at an object for quite a few seconds or minutes. In the same manner, using the mind, you will be able to abide in the self for a considerable duration. It is not hours and days, say seconds, minutes, etc. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20, 25 minutes. It can also be said that Nirvikalpaka Samadhi Rupa, you are given to meditation. Meditation naturally follows. If this kind of a vichara is becoming very strong, you will always be tempted to sit in a place and go into meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is a soul mind process. Mind alone is functioning in meditation, nothing else. Mind alone, mind alone, mind alone. Mind is generally given to a number of vrittis, modifications, functions. You take an optional thought and then feed it to the mind, asking the mind to keep on to the optional thought. For those people who are initiated in the spiritual path by the Sadguru must have given some kind of a mantra. Now that is the optional thought. With the help of thought, you enter into the mental arena, and then using that mantra, you channelize the mind process. All the other thoughts will stop coming. This thought alone will become dominant and pronounced. And if it remains so, in about 3, 4 or 5 minutes, it will stop itself along with the mind. In other words, you will have inner stillness, inner absorption, inner fullness. Now that state is called Sattvapati. You have been able to get hold of something. Get hold of what? Your very self. Your very self. Oh, my mind is thinking. How many thoughts it evolves every day? And every thought equally subsides. No thought remains forever or for long. So millions and trillions of thoughts have been produced by the mind. And nothing is reduced from the mind. And no thought is kept anywhere within. There is no stop. It's all thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. Emergence, subsidence, nothing more than that. So there is something from which all these thoughts are emanating, springing. And they are also disappearing. So you want to reach at the source. That source is reached when you administer an optional thought to your mind and channelize the mind processes in that thought. There will come a time then the distractional thoughts will vanish and the optional thought will prevail. If it prevails for a short duration, the next course will be, it will cease to be. That means the whole mind process has got dissolved into its very source. What is that source? The I, the self, the consciousness. So you reach there. and you are able to appreciate it, understand it, remain there for at least a few minutes, if not hours. This will be understanding the subject. You know, every experience is mind-born, mind-based. And the mind is yours. Whatever takes place in the mind, you alone will know. You will say, my mind. And my mind thinks. It does not think. My mind became still. I was absorbed. The I will be there to notice and experience all these things. As it was noticing the mental thought processes, now it starts noticing the thoughtlessness of the mind. And what made it thoughtless and where is it abiding? That mystery gets revealed. For whom? For the same I, for the same person. Bhumika pradayabhyasad chitterthe viratervashad satyatmanisthiti shuddhe satvaha bhaktirudahruda. Do you want me to explain it further? The first is a decision to become good, thoughtful, and a good human. The second is the introspection in that line. The third becomes the mind and the mind processes becoming thinner and thinner. Desires and greed grow thinner and thinner. Now in the fourth you will find there is a discovery, there is a realization. You are able to understand what is this I am referring to. It is the source of the mind, source of the intelligence, source of the ego, and therefore the source of the entire creation. Because the creation is perceived and experienced by your mind. By your mind. All the words of description, they have evolved from the mind. The whole dictionary is a product of human mind, human ideas. So you reach the very source. Don't you think it's a great discovery and realization? This is the fourth Bhumika. The fourth Bhumika. In Viveka Chudamani, there is a beautiful verse. Beautiful verse. I would like all of you to understand it, by heart it, write it on in your house, wherever you want. It is Vishuddha Sattvasya Gunah Prasadaha Swatmanubhudih Parama Prashanti Triptih Praharsha Paramatmanishta Yaya Sadanandarasam Samrchadi. Number. Vishuddha Sattvasya Gunah Prasadaha Swatmanubhudih Parama Prashanti Triptih Praharsha Paramatmanishta Yaya Sadanandarasam Samrchadi. Shankara speaks of two kinds of sattva in Viveka Chudamani. He calls it Mishra Sattva and Vishuddha Sattva. You know what does it mean? Where the whole of your being becomes pure. Are you with me, my dear viewers? The whole of your being becomes pure. Tell me, what is your being? Is it the body, or is it what is present inside the body? The bodily purity is a subject for medicine. Whenever you are sick, when your blood is contaminated, you go to the doctor and ask him to give a verdict on that. Pathological examinations follow, microbiological tests are done, and finally you are told your blood contains this or not contains, and this is to be done. We are not speaking about the body at all. Body is a material, inert stuff. It is material, it is inert. We are not interested in it. The body is only a medium for us. The actual functioning element is the mind, is the intelligence. So that mind has to become Vishuddha. The Sattva, the being represented by mind, intelligence and ego, that has to become pure. And in the purity, Shankara says, Mishra Sattva is there and Vishuddha Sattva is there. One is admixtured purity, another is wholesome, pure purity. For a man whose being has become sufficiently pure, gunaha, he automatically begets a number of qualities. Which are the qualities? Prasadaha. Say that? Prasadaha. What is meant by prasada? Prasannata. The mind becomes serene. It becomes placid. You don't feel the mind is heavy. The mind is stressed and strained. No. You will feel the mind has become pure and you start feeling it. Except feeling, there is no proof for it. When your mind is heavy, don't you say it's heavy? When it is light, you also say it is light. So in the same manner, here you start feeling the prasannata of the mind. Normally people don't have a cheerful mind, a delightful mind, a serene mind. It's all contaminated, it's all heavy, it's all intensely black and dark. So here, a man of Vishuddha Sattva, he will find he begets a number of qualities. The first is prasannata or prasada. This is verse number 119 of Vicharasita. Swatmanubhuti. For the first time he starts feeling, oh, there is something inside the body other than the body. It is a presence. It may not be visual. It may not be material, it may not be energial, but nevertheless it is experiential. I am able to understand very strongly, in an undoubtable manner, that there is a presence within my body. It is this presence that we refer to as I. I is not a reference to the body, nor is it a reference to the mind, nor is it to the intelligence, nor is it to the ego, nor is it to the world. The I is a reference by itself. Everything else is mine. My body, my mind, my intelligence, my ego, my world, my God. Everything is mine. I is only one. That I, he is able to experience. It is a reference. It denotes the presence of the self, the body difference, presence in oneself. So, swatmanubhutihi, paramat prashantihi. You are able to feel that superlative, supreme quietude, shanti. Why are you peaceful and quietude? There are very few people who ring us say, Swamiji, I have become doubtless. I have no fear, no. I am very happy. Some people are telephoning and telling me like this. How are they able to say? So it is a shanti that comes to you only from the mind as its quality. It is not related to any object or any effort to win the objects. You may have your work, your activity, etc. That's all expression. It's all output generated by you. Our body, our mind together can do a lot of work. That's okay, let it go on. But what I want you to think is, do you have enough of inner experience, which stands on itself, not related to the objects of the world. There is a presence inside the body which cognizes the body and then says, yes, I have a body. I always ask people, are you the body? No, you are not. You only have a body. This I have a body is a notion produced by the mind. So your body is a notional product. You only have a notion about the body. And the notion is generated by the mind. So, Parama Prashantihi. This Shanti which you are able to feel is Parama, supreme. Why? Why it is supreme? Suppose you desire an object and you get the object, then also you feel happy, you start smiling. That's also a joy. No, that's not. This is supreme, there is nothing beyond it. It comes from no desire, no object, no desire. It comes from the very being of yours. Triptihi, contentment, contentment. You will understand something called contentment is there, which you can feel in your own mind, in your own heart. Praharshaha, it produces exhilaration, horripilation also. Paramatmanistha. There is something called Paramatmanistha. It is not Pujanistha. It is not Javanistha. It is not Yoganistha, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, etc. It is Paramarthanistha, the Nishtha in which you always think about, contemplate upon, meditate upon the Paramatma, the Paramartha, the supreme essence. Yaya sadanandarasam samrachadi. By virtue of this pursuit, you always get that blissfulness arising from the supreme truth. And in ample measure you get it. Ample measure. It is not something like half an hour's meditation and I was blissful. What about the non-meditational or post-meditational hours? So this will be an ananda, a rasa, which you will be able to get samrichyadi in ample measure. Because it comes to you from your own inner essence, your own inner being, not related to any outside factor or process. Yoga Vasishta says, Bhumika Trudayabhyasat Ajnane Kshayamagade Samyak Jnanodaya Chitte Purna Chandrodayogame. When I was reading these verses many years back, you know what kind of a stimulation, enlightenment, persuasion and call I was feeling? Bhumika Tradayabhyasad. By practicing the first three bhumikas, ajnane kshayamagade, when the ignorance is attenuated, it is reduced and it has become extinct. Samyak jnanodaye chitte. In the same mind which you have now, samyak jnana dawns. Jnana means knowledge. Samyak jnana means perfect knowledge. That rises there, just like the sun rises. Purna chandrodayobhame. It is like the Purna Chandra appearing on the sky. Every day, almost, we have moon on the sky, except on the new moon day. But the full moon day is different. There the whole moon appears there and the entire surface of the earth is lit without any scorching heat. The sun is going on heating and heating. Everything is tired there. Now Chandra, without any heat, he gives you beautiful radiance. Purna Chandrodayobhame. When you are able to gain these three, you are considered to be an Arya, a Shrestha. You know, we have a theory that Aryans came from South Asia, etc., etc., etc. If you ask me, I don't believe it, I don't understand it. We have got this Arya Shabda in Mahabharata 5,000 years back. We have got the Arya Shabda as part of the conversation Sage Vasishta had in Treta Yuga with Ayodhya Prince Sri Rama. This Aryatva, that means a person becoming noble and great. This nobility and greatness are completely to be attributed to the mind process the intelligence process. You have a self-evaluation, you have an evaluation of the world, as a result of which you understand and you decide that I should not be simply remaining like a beast. I want to be a human. I must attain my goal. What is that goal? Is the world that we see everything of life? Because the world is shown by the mind and is perceived in the mind. So in the perception of the world, the object world has got a secondary place. The primary place is in the mind. So when I go into this mind, I want to know, in the language and process of the mind, what is the place and significance for the world? Is there anything inside our body? Is there any treasure? I want to know this. This kind of a thinking when occurs, and you are guided by the thinking, and you want to become noble, truthful, honest, loving, friendly, tolerant, excusing, including all people, that person is called Arya. It's a kind of a cultural coordinate, a mento-intellectual refinement that you imbibe and you display in everything of you. In everything means what? In your thoughts, in your speeches, in your actions. Prathamayam anguritam dvidiyayam vikasitam alibhutam pratiyayam aryatvam yogino bhaved. See how best he beautifully puts it. Prathamayam anguritam. This aryatva commences in the first bhumika. Shubhecha. Dvidiyayam vikasitam. In the second bhumika, vicharana, it begets expansion. Phalibhutam tritiyayam. In the third bhumika, it bears fruit. Aryatvam yogino bhaved. For the yogis, they will get aryatva. So the third bhumika gives you aryatva. Kartavyam acharan kamam, akartavyam anacharan, tishtadi pragadacharo, yasarya smrutaha. What a beautiful definition. I think our parliamentarians should know it. The historians should know it. What is the meaning we attribute to the word Arya? We want to become an Arya. They are not people who have come here. We ourselves become Arya. Maybe some are inborn Aryas are there. That is because of the biological and psychological heredity. But it has to be acquired. Kartavyam acharan kamam. An Arya will always perform whatever is dutiful, whatever is righteous. Agartavyam anacharan. He will shun always the unrighteous acts, unrighteous thoughts, unrighteous speeches. Tishtadi pragradacharo. He lives a very natural life. These disciplines are not forced in him. There is no struggle or even striving on his part. It becomes natural, a natural corollary of his life. Yes, such a person becomes an Arya. He will do everything that the others are doing. In all his actions, you will find that divinity, spiritual sublimity will be besmeared everywhere. Yatha charam, yatha shastram, yatha chittam, yatha sthitam, vyavaharam upadatte, yasarya smrutaha. Who is an Arya? Who has no struggle in becoming good. Who has no striving in being good, kind and noble. Goodness, kindness, nobility, charity, charitableness, gracefulness, amiability, all these are natural qualities of that person. Vyavaharam upadatte, yathacharam, yathashastram, yathachittam, yathasthitam. He will heed his mind. The mind itself is noble and great. Whatever his mind says, you will find this is what our scriptures also say. And everywhere you will find things take place in a natural manner. He has no struggle, he has no strife also. He takes to his interactions in a natural manner. Such a person who becomes naturally good, naturally noble, effortlessly truthful, honest, tolerant, etc., that person is the Arya. Now we go to the next Bhumikas. I have told you what is the fourth Bhumika. Dasha chatushtaya abhyasat asamsanga phalena cha runa sattva chamatkarad prokta asamsakti namika. Dasha chatushtaya abhyasad. Chatushtaya means four. Shubhecha, Vicharana, Tanumanasi, Asamsakti. These are the Bhumikas. When you are in them and you practice them, all of them. Suppose you have attained the first Bhumika, that does not disappear from you. Suppose you acquire the two together prevail, the three together and the four together prevail. By the prevalence of all the four, by pursuing them, by prevailing upon them, by sustaining them, by encouraging them, by incorporating them. Rudha sattva chamatkarad. Rudha sattva chamatkarad. How to explain it? Put all your attention. Don't be unduly grave. Be effortless. Still, if you listen to, that is sufficient, you will understand. Asamsanga phalena cha. By the practice of the four bhumikas, your mind has become sufficiently dispassionate. So the world is not going to have any attraction or repulsion in you. It's not going to have. Your vyavaharas become harmonious with your nature. Your nature becomes harmonious with your interactions. Everything becomes beautiful, nice. Rudha sattva chamatkarad. When you look into the mind, you will find our mind is getting modified. All our attractions, repulsions, emotions, feelings, thoughts, concerns, enquiry, knowledge, all these are modifications of the mind. All these modifications are produced by the same substance. The substance is the same. See, we have got a pair of legs. What all shall we do with them? We can stand, sit, lie, jump, walk, run, squat. All these actions can be done by the legs. Similarly, the stuff within your body which animates the body is consciousness. That consciousness is one substance, so to say, though it cannot be called so. And that substance is capable of doing different types of functions through modifying itself. So we call them mental and intellectual modifications. So all modifications are the display of consciousness. Consciousness is the one source, one content, one substance, which is capable of expressing all these modifications. These modifications which fill our waking state. In the waking state, you are active and interactive. For action and interaction, the mind has to supply a number of emotions, impetus, etc. So throughout the wakeful state, our mind will be full of modifications. You take half an hour, 1 hour or more from the waking state and sit in a place. Then try to deal with your mind. All of you may not be able to do it tomorrow, but for sadhakas it is possible. Some people may renounce everything. See, we are all people who belong to that category. When I found that this is called humanhood, this is the human goal, I could not do any professional life anymore. I simply left. Only because of this insight. only because I was initiated by my Gurudev. I was doing sadhana very earnestly. So there was enough of spiritual inner experiences, as a result of which I felt that no more this life. Simply let me jump into it, leave everything. So what happens? The mental modifications, they will become extinct, as they are becoming extinct in sleep. But sleep is biologically induced. Here it is induced by your psycho-intellectual part. By chanting the optional mantra, by considering yourself to be a seeker, given to sadhana, and you want to sadhana more and more wholesomely, and you want to pursue this life wholeheartedly to the exclusion of all other involvements and interests. For such people, in meditation, the mind processes, the mento-intellectual modifications will start becoming thinner and thinner, feebler and feebler, lighter and lighter. And ultimately you will find they cease, they stop, they become extinct. As the mind is thoughtful now, it can also become thought-free. Mark my expression. As the mind is thoughtful now, it can also become thought-free. My mouth becomes very dry. Ruda sattva chamatkarad asamsanga phalena cha dasha chatushtaya abhyasad. All the four bhumikas should be tightened, intensified. And you go on meditating, observing only the mind processes. They will all, you will find, reduce in number, reduce in their thickness and heaviness, and ultimately, by the very law and process, they will become extinct. Then you will find consciousness shines in its own pristine glory. You reach the fifth bhumika. What is the fifth bhumika? Prokta asanga asamsaktinamika. Ruda sattva chamatkara prokta asamsaktinamika. Asamsaktinamika. Asamsakti. That is the name of the fifth bhumika. What does it mean? Are you ready? You will naturally feel dispassionate, disassociated. The body is in the world. It breathes the air, it drinks water, it eats the food. It is either standing, sitting, or lying on the body. It basks under sunshine, moonshine, etc. Everything is all right. When you open the eyes, you see colorful and shadeful objects. That is also true. The ear hears a number of sounds from your family members as well as from the others. Everything is agreed. But, my dear souls, you don't have any sangha, delusional clinging to anything at all. You will be surprised Am I born? Is it a rebirth for me? Yes. To go to a guru, to take Diksha whenever they come here, I tell them, understand that this is an optional birth. This is the real second birth for you. The first birth is only a bodily birth, a biological event. The real optional birth takes place when you go to a guru and seeks Diksha from him. He accepts you as the son, as the daughter, and then he completely infuses you with the spiritual infusion. Asamsaktinamika. Previously, dispassion was a struggle for you. To think of something other than the world was greed for you. Now you understand, the world is seen by me. It is an object seen. It is not the seer. I am not the object world. I am the one who sees the world. I am the seer. I am the seer. I am the seer. The subject. I am the inner being. My body is inert. It is an aggregate of matter and energy. Both of them are insentient. The world also is inert. Earth is inert. Water is inert. Air is inert. Fire is inert. Space is inert. The entire creation is made up of all these things. Can you ever find a touch or a feeling of consciousness anywhere in the world except in living beings and plants? What are you saying? What is this that you are getting enamored of from the world? Say, take gold. The yellow metal is very costly. Every country is trying to amass gold. Our country also has got a lot of gold under the care of Reserve Bank also. But what is this gold worthy of? When you are hungry, can you take a bit of gold, put it in the mouth, chew and swallow? Tell me. Have discrimination, have viveka, arrive at the right evaluation about matters. This world around you can do nothing for you in the way of an experience, joy, contentment or fulfillment. Contentment is a prerogative of the mind. Fulfillment is something that comes to the mind and the intelligence. Only by mento-intellectual efforts, not by external physical efforts. So let us be very clear that Asamsakti Bhumika is such a wonderful Bhumika where you become an embodiment of dispassion. Make me stand anywhere in the world, anywhere in the riches. You will feel nothing. I want nothing. I am nothing. I don't want anything. That kind of assurance. Why? Because you have had an immersion into your own inner being, into the consciousness that you are the only true and real substance in this world. Everything else is an illusion. Everything else is unreal. Earth is unreal. It cannot last long. Sun also is unreal. It cannot last long. The only thing that lasts is the I, what is denoted by the term I. So, prokta asamsaktinamika, the fifth bhumika. So, the first is Shubhecha, second is Vijarana, the third is Tanumanasa, the fourth is Asamsaktihi and Satvapattihi. I think there is a correction. This is the order. Shubhecha Vicharana Tanumanasa Asamsakti Satvapati. I think I explained it earlier properly. Satvapati Rudahruda, I said. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fourth is Asamsakti, the next is Satvapati. The first three bhumikas, following which the fourth takes place, that is the one in which a person becomes Brahmavidvaraha. Brahmavidvaraha. He understands the supreme reality called Brahman. That knowledge is very stable and steady in him. He will never forget it. His intelligence cannot be dislodged from it. Whatever happens to him, he may feel the impact of misery, the impact of happiness, the impact of so many other things. Nevertheless, he will feel, I am the witness of everything. All the things belong to the witnessed, WITNESSED. The sun is witnessed, the moon is witnessed, my body is witnessed. Everything comes under witness. Even when I say the mind, it is also witnessed. Intelligence is witnessed. Ego is witnessed. When I say God, He is also going to be within the witnessed. Whereas I am the witness. The witness can never become the witnessed. And the witnessed can never become the witness. So everything that takes place in our life, all the transformations and the consequences of transformations in the form of pleasure and pain, joy and suffering, happiness and unhappiness. All these are within the sphere of the witnessed. And who are you? You only witness them. Witness them. So you witness the good, you witness the bad, you witness everything. That witness feeling is so much, you don't have to do anything about the witness. It continues to be so. When that perception, that realization, that experience becomes very firm, unflickering, that is the great attainment. Sattvapati. You understand what is the truth? The truth is not matter. The truth is not energy. The truth is consciousness. Consciousness. And where is the consciousness? I can feel it only in me, not in anybody else. Only in me. Only in me. None of you can have a touch of consciousness anywhere else. To see whether a man is conscious or not, what do? They touch the body. They touch the body. They don't touch the consciousness. They try to understand the pulse rate. They try to pinch. What are they doing? All are physical methods. The effect of consciousness. Consciousness directly cannot be touched, but it can be felt in you by yourself. So what is the Satya? And you have attained it. Bhumika panchakabhyasad swatma ramataya dritham abhyantaranam bahyanam padarthanam abhavanad. Paraprayuktena chiram prayatnena arthabhavanad padartha bhavana namni shashti sanjayate gadi. The fourth bhumika, as I said, makes a man a knower, Brahmavidvaraha. In the fifth bhumika, fifth, sixth and seventh are Jeevanmuktas. In the fifth bhumika, Asamsaktinamika, its name, there is a confusion here. there is a little change in the two verses, I believe. Let it be. I am quoting from two different places, so maybe there is a little change. I will go through it again. So the fourth Bhumika makes one a Brahmavidvara. The fifth one is the first of the three Jeevanmukta stages. 5, 6 and 7, 7 Bhumikas are there. 5, 6 and 7, all the three are Jeevanmuktas, but with a difference. That difference we are going to discuss it here. Bhumika panchakabhyasat swatma ramataya dritham abhyamtaranam bahyanam padarthanam abhavanad paraprayuktena chiram prayatnena arthabhavanad padartha bhavana namni shashti sanjayate gati. This is very clear. By the pursuit of the 5 Bhumikas, he enters into the 6th one. What is the 6th Bhumika? Its name is Padartha Bhavani. Padartha Abhavana. Are you with me? I wish I could see all of you, your faces, etc. when I am speaking. We are now in the world. We were born into the world. Or ever since birth, our senses are interacting with the world. The mind is forming imprints. These imprints become static and they start propelling our further interactions. This is our life. So you will say, my life totally depends upon the objects of the world. Objects have the precedence. There is nothing like a subject for us. Here, by practicing the 5 Bhumikas fairly well, Swatma Ramataya Dridham, I have already mentioned, whenever we perceive an object, the object is outside. Perception is sought through the senses. But what seeks perception is the mind. And the mind is inside the body. The mind employs the senses. And the senses contact the objects. See, when I want to look at a tree, daylight, the tree is at about 100 feet away from me. I focus my vision towards the tree. Naturally, I see the tree. Tell me, does the tree come to me? Or do I go to it? So a picture of the tree is formed by the eye, and that too by electrical pulses which the eyes send to the brain. So where is the actual vision taking place? Is it in the eye? No. It is inside. Who employs the eyes? Mind. Who takes the imprints? The mind takes the imprints. So the perception, is it objective or subjective? Is it material or spiritual? Is it outer or inner? What answer do you have? Perception belongs to the perceiver. The perceiver is inside the body. Body is inert, it cannot perceive. Eyes also cannot perceive, they are inert. So the non-inert sentient part of our being is inside the body. And there I am going to perceive, I must perceive that feeling is there inside. Then the eyes are employed. Then an imprint is taken. The whole process is inside. If the perceiving process has been initiated by the mind, it subsists on the mind, it concludes and terminates in the mind. Where is any padartha there? Everything becomes subjective. No objectivity at all is there so far as our experience is concerned. So he says, Abhyantaranam bahyanam padarthanam abhavanad. Abhyantaranam bahyanam padarthanam abhavanad swatma ramataya dridham. How to make you feel this? By practicing the 5 bhumikas, we are speaking about the Jeevanmukta, mind you. Not the people whom you know, your friends and well-wishers, members of the family. No. We are speaking about the Jeevanmukta, who has passed through, become Brahmavidvara. Now he is entering the next stage, Brahmavidvariyan. There, what happens? Swatma ramataya dridham. Oh, the entire thing is a perception. Perception follows perceiving. And perceiving, that is done by the perceiver. Where is the perceiver? Inside the body. Is it the eyes? No. Is it the body? No. Is it the tree? No. So the perceiver is inside. He wanted to perceive, so that perceiving is an inner process. The outcome called perception, that is also inside. So the perceiver, perceiving and perception, all the 3 are inside, inside, inside. They are not matter and material. They are not energy and energial. But what are they? They are only spiritual. To differentiate it from matter and energy, we use the word spirit and spiritual. So where is the padartha now? The articles and substances, where are they? At any point of time, do you ever have a contact with an object in your experiential level? Are you not experiencing the imprints of the objects taken by your mind and kept in the mind? You experience only your mind's imprint in itself. You never experience an object. No. Even your own child, when the child is in front of you, your eyes, your skin, all these are helping in forming mental imprints, and these imprints are what you experience. Nothing other than that. In that way, swatma ramataya dridham. When one realizes this, will he ever undertake the trouble of interactions? He will not. He does not. So he will always be sitting under the infusion of the self, under self-infusion, whether he thinks or not, does or not, intellects or not. The whole process is internal, subjective, spiritual. So he remains absorbed. Abhyantaranam bahyanam padarthanam abhavanad. Is there any exterior object in his experience? No. Is there any interior object in his experience? No. Because the imprint, what mind is making, when the mind makes an imprint of an object, mind is not matter. Then how can the imprint be material? So both the mind and the mental imprints not being material, where is an article or a substance? So the entire notion, padartha, it simply vanishes. There is nothing like an object. There is nothing like a matter. There is no materiality at all. Everything is only notional. Everything is in the man of a mental impression in me. It is my own subject, my own I. my own inner being that does all the magic of perception. So he remains absorbed. Paraprayuktena chiram, prayatnena arthabhavanad. Only when he is awakened and aroused by the others, he will open his eyes and see. Even for ordinary people, you sit for meditation and keep the eyes half open. Are you able to see? You will find a totally different experience. Half open eyes. You will find the objects do not overtake you, overwhelm you. You will be aware of the subject presence. So this person, Atmaramataya Asthidaha, when others come and prevail upon him, he will open his eyes, otherwise not. So normally for the most part of his waking state, he does not comprehend, recognize or cognize any object at all. So it is called Padartha Bhavana Namni. The entire Padarthas go into Abhava, non-presence. Shashti Sanjayate Gadihi. The sixth Bhumika is attained. The sixth. So from fifth onwards, I said it is Jeevanmukti. In the first, he is not unresponding. We generally say, to simplify, Jeevanmukta belonging to the first category. He will go out, talk to people, respond to them, write letters. He will be moving and living. When he enters into the Brahmavid Varaha Variyan, that Shashti Bhumika, he will not be moving about. He will remain where he is. People may have to come to him. And when he comes, when an effort is made in a manner that will appeal to him, then he may open his eyes, speak a few words, or enter into a discussion. To which extent it will be, we cannot say. It differs from person to person. In the seventh Bhumika, when you enter, I will explain it the next day, even that is not possible. That is not possible. What will happen to such people is almost impossible to say. We know that there is such a state, and there must be somebody who has it. There also, individual choice and individual options are there. I knew about all that. Even then I decided I will not become so immobile like that. Krishna was active throughout his life. 125 years he lived and he was active. So why should we go into that absorbed and still state? Let us try to be active. Now, much depends upon the will and wish of the seeker or the knower. Now we have come up to the sixth, where Padartha Abhavani, Padartha Bhavana, the thought of the objects itself is not there. Everything becomes subject and subjective. The entire objectitude becomes irrelevant. It is not necessary. Whatever joy or fulfillment you want to have, your own insight, your own mind and intelligence provide it. All our Shastras are, every bit of the Shastras is meant to generate this. So here the words used are Paraprayuktena chiram, Prayatnena Arthabhavanad. When others persuade him, persuade him in one way or the other, he thinks about the object. Padartha abhavana namni shashti sanjayate gati. Then the sixth Bhumika is born. Can you imagine? The whole inner process is studied, pursued, practiced, perfected, and then they are describing it. Our country is very great. When we say something in the field of spirituality, don't think that it is speculation. No. Don't think it is imagination. No. It is living experience, verified by reason, logic. Our children are very happy. Do they think of the objects of the world as such? They are very happy. See, in the manner in which I am talking to you, can you refute what I am saying? The whole perception is an inner process, right from the start to the end. Then where comes matter there? Where is externality? Gross and subtle. Gross is only a notion of the mind. Subtle is only a notion of the mind. Ultimately, body is an ocean. Even soul is an ocean. Everything becomes an ocean. All notions proceed from the same source. That source becomes the real. That cannot be negated. That cannot be devalued. All thoughts emerge and submerge. But there is a source of the thought that never disappears. It is not going to disappear when the body dies also. It was not born when the body was born. It will not die when the body dies. It ever remains. The question is, are you fortunate enough? Are you willing enough? Are you resolute enough? Are you inspired enough? Are you convinced enough? Are you blessed enough to seek a realization of it? This is the important point. I shall stop today. We will continue the discussion next day. Samvedya varjitam anuttamamegamadhyam samvidpadam vigalanam kalayan mahatman hridyeva tishtha kalanarahita kriyam tu kurvan akartrapadamedya samodidashri kurvan akartrapadamedya samodidashri. Hari, 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 Om Tats. We shall have the conclusional Omkara in chorus. Take your pose for it. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru. Jai Guru.